certain things, it's like, oh, that makes more sense. That's a lot more clear. When like eating food, eating your meals, your pre-hunt meals, for the longest time, I was like, why would you do anything other than chef's choice, right? Because if you go in, you go to get a meal, chef's choice uses all fresh ingredients, right? In your ingredients list, you've got your fresh ingredients they're random. It changes. Like you have the same ingredients available for every meal, but whichever ones are considered fresh change. And eating fresh ingredients gives you not just everything gives you a stamina buff, but fresh ingredients give you a health buff too. Like they increase your max health up to 50 or plus 50 or whatever. So you only actually need 5 fresh ingredients to get the max health buff. And when you go to Chef's Choice, like I said, because it's all fresh ingredients, you get the max health buff, and and then as you can see, there's like other effects. There's attack buffs, defense buffs, elemental buffs, and then there's like those skills at the bottom, right? But it's fine if you just don't really care to learn about it. Like, it works, but as you start fighting tougher monsters, you may want certain buffs. You may want like certain things that you may not like. For example, I may make a build and then like I may have speed sharpen on the build so that it takes my guy like way less time to resharpen his weapon. But I may want to take that skill off. I might want to replace that skill with something more offensively minded. Because maybe I want to do some extra damage to the monster. Maybe I'll throw in peak performance or something like that. When I make my meal, I can replace that speed sharpen with feline polisher, which you get by eating a meal that includes 2 red food items, which are all the food items at the top on the top row, right? Except for the drinks. The drinks have their own skill set or whatever. But when you include 2 red food items, you get the feline polisher skill, which speeds up sharpening time. So if I knew for sure I'm just gonna get that skill from my food, I'll replace speed sharpen from my armor set. So that's just one example. But you can kind of take that concept and apply it to a bunch of other stuff. So if you want certain skills, and of course you can look and see what skills you can get with each food type. So for every 2 food items of a certain color, you get another, that buff changes to something else. So 2 red items get you feline polisher, which is the speed up sharpening time. But if you have 4 red items, then you get the feline rider, which makes it easier to mount monsters. And then if your entire meal consists of nothing but red items, then you can stun monsters easier. The problem with focusing on specific skills like that is if you don't have a lot of fresh ingredients in your meal, there's a really not a great chance that you'll actually get that skill, because if you look in the sort of center right box at the bottom where it says food skills, at the very bottom of that there's a counter for the fresh ingredients and then activation chance. So the more fresh ingredients you have, the better chance you have of those skills activating. So now there is a solution to that problem. So let's say I wanted my meal to look like this. Let's see, let me just pick. Right. I want to be able to stun a monster easier, and I want a large attack boost, which you get from eating 6 meat items. So the attack, defense, and elemental buffs come from like the type of, not the color of the food, but the type. So meats every 2 meats gives you an attack buff, every 2 fish gives you a defense buff, and every 2 veggies gives you an elemental buff. So let's say I want this as my meal, right? But I really want that skill. I really want that slugger skill. If I eat this meal like this, probably not going to get it. However, there is an item you can get called the voucher, and also there's a gourmet voucher, which the difference is that voucher, if you buy a meal with a voucher, it guarantees the skill, whatever skills you pick. So if I use a voucher and then I go in there and I pick 6 red meat items, I'm guaranteed a big health. I'm guaranteed the health buff, and I'm guaranteed the large attack buff, and I'm guaranteed the skill that's going to provide, right? So, and then gourmet voucher does that, but the upside to using that is it applies those same skills to everybody in your team. So that's more of a team item. That's not really for like you yourself. And that's a lot to take in. Obviously, that's a lot of information I just threw out there. But like, that's my whole point is like, when you look at this at a glance, it doesn't seem like there's much you can do, or it doesn't seem like there's any reason to really dive into it further than, oh, chef's choice. Why go any different? And that is a simple way to deal with it. You can always eat chef's choice and it'll be fine. Like, it'll be okay. But if you really want to take your skills to the next level, you can focus on building your own plates just the way you want them to be, and you can get your buffs just the way you want them to be.